Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and today I get to interview Kari. So, welcome, man.
Hi.
So, Kari, can you please let everyone know your full type?
My type is ESTP SETI double feminine consume sleep play blast social type number three.
Okay, cool. And what did you think and how did you feel when you got your typing results?
Um, I mean, I was happy to get the information. I think it was like I had to wait. I think two and a half weeks or something like that. And I kept checking my email and stuff like that, and um, it was kind of like Christmas. I don't know if that makes sense, but um, when I got it, um, my original guess was that I was most likely an ESTP. I thought that I could possibly be like an ISTP or INFJ, but I had to do like some fact checking. I like looked at everything in my room, looked at my phone, and I was like, oh wow, I'm doing a lot of consume. So it started to make sense, and it started to settle in, and then over time, I just started to see like how everything connected, and like my life, and like how it explained a lot of things.
Right. So I wanted to ask you because at the start of the interview, or before we even recorded, I was saying that the ironic thing about your type is you are lead SE, but you're feminine sensory.
Yes.
And not only that, you're ST first, right? Which is pretty much like facts and data, but then it's double feminine SE. So how are you gathering facts and remembering facts when you will forget them because of the feminine sensory aspect of it?
Um, I mean, I definitely have to like externalize a lot of sensory information, like reminders and stuff like that. To say like sticky notes in the refrigerator or like um, using my phone alarm, memos, other people. Um, it's very difficult because like I have to like I remember being very insecure about this as a kid because like I couldn't. It would take me so long to memorize things, and even then, it wouldn't be so perfect. Um, so I mean, like I would go over like some information, and then I would try to like build up um, like a visual reminder, like some using my imagination, basically. Um, I even got to like I even got into like using the mind palace technique. If it was like something on a document, I would memorize like the location or like visualize the actual document and then visualize what I was trying to remember.
Right, gotcha. And then on the flip side of things, you have masculine NI. So from my understanding with masculine NI and the people that I've spoken to that has masculine NI, they feel like they're very sure what's going to happen in the future. There's like that certain level of certainty to it. Like
Yeah.
uh, sometimes it's not valid, sometimes it is. What has your experience been like with like being sure that this is what's gonna happen in the future, even though your NI is fourth, which is really ironic. Um, Mike, you do have it activated, so it means you can see it.
Hmm. Yeah, it certainly is interesting. Um, I think it was, I think Dave talked about it. It was like, um, I think he mentioned like that I would rely on the intuition a lot more, but it wouldn't always be correct. And it is something interesting because I do utilize the visual, my imagination to memorize things. I don't really notice a lot of I mean, off the top of my head, I don't really remember a lot of like the intuition, or like moments where intuitively knew something, but I know that, when it hits me. And then um, I just can't help to just follow it.
Gotcha. Now, let's talk about your first animal first. ST consume. So you're doing a consume report of facts, essentially. And it's also tied to competence. So being able to be like a doer, like you can
Mhm.
really do concrete stuff. It's not just like, abstract things that you're able to pull off. And it's double activated also. So you're going crazy on this. Like you're doing this all the time. Can you just share a little bit of what's going on there for you?
Um, I guess I don't know. I'm not sure how to like describe it. The ST. I know like I kind of like passively absorb information from the environment. Um, I tend to like I have a lot of books, so I mean when it manifests in the consume animal, um, there isn't. I've noticed that there isn't that much control to it. That it kind of like even though the TI is kind of like dictating what I consume and then how I consume it. There, the SE is kind of like willy nilly. It like absorbs everything. So I mean that's what I've noticed. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, I mean, it's from your perspective, being your specific type. So just curious how you personally experience it. So it's kind of interesting that that's how you describe it, is the absorbing part. Um, I don't want to touch on too much on the ST just because it's your savior. So I want to make our way towards your demons. But your second savior is very interesting though, because it's sleep, NT sleep. Okay. And not just NT sleep, it's double masculine NT sleep. So it's super aggressive. Now, one of the things that I've learned recently, because for the longest time I kind of struggled to put NT sleep into one or two words to describe how it can be personal to someone, like because sleep animals personal, right? So after a while of really thinking it through, someone said this word to me and then it clicked, and that word is critical thinking. Critical thinking is the most personal thing for people of your personality type. Can you share how important critical thinking is and how it's very important that you do it? It's not something that, you outsource to the tribe essentially. It's you prefer if you do it because it's what's personal.
um, I guess for me, it's kind of like when I see because I guess I'm noticing a lot of like TE from the tribe, and I get kind of annoyed by it, by its like lack of accuracy and stuff like that. So it's like if I need something, um, if I need to understand something, and I receive like a report, I guess like a TE report from someone else, and then I go over the information and I notice like wow this isn't accurate at all. So um, it's like something that I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's like the need for obviously it's the need for accuracy, but there's a drive to do it myself, and it's like maybe no one else can do it better than me, or I have to know it in order to blast or play it later. And it makes sense that way because if I get that logic from someone else, then I'm going to have like a bunch of other questions. And if I don't know it, so I can't like blast it later on.
Right, right. And part of NT is also figuring things out. So I would say for you guys, it's super personal, like that you figure it out, like that figuring out aspect is personal. Like you don't want
Mhm.
someone to give you the solution, you want to do it yourself, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, there's some times for for time's sake, or if I'm on like a deadline or something, I'll take someone else's understanding of something and I'll just run with it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, don't blame me. I got it from someone else.
Okay.
But
That sounds like your social three though, that's talking there. Like, don't blame me. Yeah. Um, and then the other part of that double masculine NT sleep is your recurring pattern that is true about yourself. Can you share a little bit about that?
um, I'm not sure. I mean, I have noticed I guess the propensity to like consume and like mull over information for myself. And it's like a pastime, like a favorite pastime of mine, because I like to learn about science, space, or watch nature documentaries and stuff like that, or read. Um, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question.
No, that's okay. I'll give you some example then. So for example, someone goes to you and be like, "Hey, Kari, you always do this," and then that NITI would be like looking at the pattern, and then the TI would be like, you know what? That's true. You know, like because you've seen that, you can kind of look at the pattern. You're like, "Oh yeah, I did it. I did it like all the time." This is what I always do. That's true. It's not something that
You
you.
mean like an action or something like that?
No, it's a behavioral pattern, right?
Okay.
So the NI is a pattern. NI is correlate to pattern, and TI is the truth. So you have a certain pattern about yourself that is true. Like so for example, someone can be like, "Oh, you're a generous person," and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I am," because if you look at the NI and the TI, you're like, "Yeah, I'm always giving things to people." Hence this pattern of behavior is true. You know, I'm a generous person, for example, right? Or you can be like, you're always late, Kerry. You're like, look at my pattern. Oh yeah, I am always.
Yeah.
That is also true. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you like do you do that? Like you look at the pattern of behavior and then you kind of archive it.
Um,
Yeah. And obviously you can use it to improve yourself. Because if someone gives you like let's say a feedback on an area about yourself that is negative, you can be like, oh yeah, that's true. I should probably fix that, TI fix that, right?
yeah. I guess, I mean, like some of that does apply to me. And um, I think it's because of the SE, the feminine SE. I just don't notice it.
Oh,
Um, I usually notice, like, I'll notice the thought process or like how I do something. Um, I guess, for example, I guess this could apply. Um, so I was trying to, I think it was this year, beginning of this year, I was trying to get back into shape and I was trying to build my own fitness regimen. And um, I guess I built off that by, taking what I knew, like, I guess the normal fitness stuff, like push ups, sit ups, and stuff like that. Um, and I kind of like built off that. And then I just kept finding different types of exercise like aerobics, and I did that for a while, and I did that for like a certain time frame for I guess like a month or so, and then I added some walking to that, and then try to test it, see if it worked for me. If it didn't, I kind of like uh, went back to like zero, back to just aerobics, and then just kind of tweak things from there. um, I guess I guess other people would describe me as, I guess, calm or very articulate. I don't think so. I'm wondering like how am I actually like memorizing these words? They just come out of nowhere. I just know them, or it just feels like they would fit in a specific context. So I give it a try. Um, um, I would say I've gotten better at time management. Um, Thankfully, so I haven't gotten any. I used to get a lot of like "you're always late" comments from people or feedback from people, but I haven't noticed that much recently.
So it's getting better.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It could also be blast last. Blast last people tend to be late also, right? And EP,
yeah,
EP also, I'm an EP. I was late all the time when I was younger. I'm a lot better now. But like I plan
yeah,
ahead now. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be late. I don't want to be like freaking out in traffic. Like I'll just drive up early so I don't have to freak out. Um,
yeah, yeah. I experienced the same thing. I usually get annoyed in traffic, just sitting there and just checking the time. Like, well, you just start to imagine like, what is someone going to say when I get there and I'm like 20 minutes late and stuff like that. You're like, okay, now I got a plan.
right, exactly. Yeah. So that's where you're using your NI. It's like your and also your visuals to plan, right?
Yeah,
Um, Yeah, as I'm a play blast person, like the super crackhead type that Dave and Shan describes, and one of my biggest enemies, the stoplight in traffic. So I'm like,
yeah,
for me, it's like get the fuck out of my way, like I need to
yeah.
go, So, but that your type because you have sleep, you're slowing down. You're not trying to speed up, I guess. But your type is kind of interesting because you're consume sleep on the front end, but on the back end, you're play blast. So, what does your play blast swing looks like when you're like full energy, go on the offensive, on the attack? Like, what does it look like?
Um, I guess it's just, well, I mean, like the only thing that comes to mind right now is that, um, excuse me, I used to play sports when I was younger. Um, I think that was kind of like my double feminine play. Um, I guess having a chance to manifest itself. Um, I do a lot of acting as well, and I have my own YouTube channel, so it's like something I can practice my blast with. I don't know. Well, I guess it would just be in a more hyperactive version of myself. I guess it would just be when my NI, my masculine NI, is like finally it's in its environment, its element. It's feeling confident. Um, it's always like getting into everything and interacting with the tribe, and then helping people out, stuff like that, and then like kind of leading, I guess.
Do you have any concrete example, or you forgot because it's feminine sensory?
Well, I feel I vaguely remember moments like when it comes up to my moment comes up to like maybe teach someone information that I already know, that I've already internally processed, um, and I like get a feel for their learning style. I get a feel for them, um, and I just feel a bit comfortable in that environment. That's usually when um, I'm more confident to blast and interact with them.
I see. So it's more tied to your social type 3 than your area of specialization. you know?
Yeah, yeah. That seems to be what I keep referencing.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. And then your play is double feminine and it's SF. So when does that come out and what does it look like? Because it's like super flexible. It's super, you know,
Yeah. Bendy, flexible, wispy, um, I guess flirty would be another way to describe it.
right. Yeah. Double feminine SF is super flirty. Can you talk about that? Like when
Uh, um, well, I mean, I guess another word would be shy too, and I guess that kind of comes out as well. Uh, yeah, I keep trying to go back to the SE like events, and I'm drawing blanks. I'm like, is it that or is it so vague? Um,
at least you're
well, I guess I can like give a scenario. I guess. So I guess I could say like when I'm say like I'm teaching someone, I'm being very gentle with them, their feelings, making sure that even if I do have criticism for them, that I kind of like gently push it towards them, um, so it doesn't like hurt their feelings or anything. Like trying, I want to try to build them up, and I know I can like relate to, um, I guess, their situation for the most part. Um, and in the scenario, like maybe they missed a lot of something, or they like failed a practice test or something like that. Um, and then I would like offer empathy, uh, or I don't do a lot of gossiping. That's something I don't do a lot of. Or like I guess now that I just thought of it, my best friend, I'm pretty sure he has double feminine play too, but um, like usually when we're around each other, we like giggle a lot, and um, it's very playful. Um, I guess stuff like that. Usually, like we're like more extroverted than we normally are. Um, yeah, I guess stuff like that.
gotcha. And what about the part of the SF play where you look at what's cool and popular right now, like just scanning the environment? Is that something that you're always, have a pulse in? It's like, oh, this is cool. This is what's popular right now. This is what's trending. Is that something that you keep? I know it's double feminine, so even if I ask, you might forget.
Um, I don't really. Well, I do kind of know what's popular from others. Like I'm pretty sure Baldur's Gate 3 is still pretty popular, and like D&D and stuff like that. And it's not really something that I feel the need to cater to. I mean, like when I'm conversing with someone, I'll bring it up. I'll ask them about it. Like, yeah, cool. And I'll just go back and do my own thing. Um, I guess that's kind of the social type number three, or the mopiness, just popping up in my personality. I mean, I notice it, but I don't really care about it that much, unless it's like something that falls into what I'm familiar with, or something I know about.
Gotcha. Well, I guess it's double feminine. It's also a demon, so it's not something that you're gonna hyper focus on. So if it happens to pop up during a conversation, it sounds like you'll participate. But if it doesn't, then it's fine. Not a big deal. Not something that you know,
Mhm.
go out of your way to track, especially because it's double feminine also, right? Um,
Yeah.
let's go with your last animal next. NF blast. So masculine NI, feminine FE, and it's last. Can you describe some of the difficulties you've had in life because of being blast last?
Um, I guess, I mean, before I got my type, um, I would always notice that, like, when it came, when a situation came up to me where I had to, um, like, I guess, pass on information to someone else, or like, that's just the general scenario. But I would always like forget to mention something, or I wouldn't mention enough of, I wouldn't give anyone else the information that they needed to know, or they would be left asking questions like, "Hey, what about this and that?" And, I guess it was something that kind of that weighed on me. Like that was a pattern that I kept noticing, um, and I guess it just weighed on me a lot. Um, yeah, yeah. I think that's probably what I noticed, or just like not wanting to speak up, and just being, just the quiet introvert in the back of the class or something like that.
So you prefer to listen then? You prefer just take things in?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at least until like I feel comfortable with it, and that's like, who knows when. Um, yeah, I think that I guess that probably describes my blast.
All right. I mean, all good. As you get older, I think it's gonna improve. So um let's switch gears next to your social type. I think this one is like the big one for a lot of people. So you're a specialist. Can you talk about your life being a specialist?
Uh, I know. I guess I haven't really like found anything to where like, well, I guess that's not true. Um, I guess like my life up to now has been me collecting things that I could potentially specialize in. Like I mentioned earlier, that I played sports when I was a kid, and I played basketball and soccer, and um, I played it at such a young age that um, I was like, maybe this is something that I could, stick with for like the next 30 years or something like that. Maybe I can go pro or something like that. Um, or in my current case right now, um, I make art, and that's something I've been doing since I was a kid. And I guess I'm not sure how the social type number three would kind of play into that, but it's something that I've been doing for a very long time. So I guess I've been building my own understanding through experience with it, and then like trying to improve my skill by learning from others, like through YouTube, or like online classes or something like that. And right now, I'm a full time student, and I'm majoring in illustration. So this is, I guess, something that I want to lock myself into. Um, but at least for me, sometimes curiosity gets the better of me because I have my other interests like storytelling. I liked. Um, Sorry about that noise. It's raining outside. Um, I like to write stories. I like to um, be an actor in a story, like a play or movie or something like that. Um, and I like to tell them, and I like to listen to them. So, I mean, I guess that's something else that I just hone in on, um, and that's just like it's stuck with me, and I guess something that I'm more passionate about than other things.
Gotcha. It sounds like to me it's mainly because you're really young, so you're collecting skills right now. So you haven't narrowed in on which area that you really want to specialize in. Like, right, I think you mentioned that you're working on illustrations, right? Uh,
Yeah,
so that could be it. But because you're an EP and also because you're Blast, you don't want to narrow down right away. So you're still like uh exploring your options right now. That's like the big word for like EPs, like, I want to explore my options kind of deal. So you don't want to
yeah,
close the door in anything yet. So which is I think completely fine. I think that it is good to explore, especially when you're young. You should definitely be consuming a lot, gathering a lot before you narrow in into a specific path in life that you feel like, hey, you know what, this is it. This is what I'm gonna go all in. I've always found it to be an ironic thing to be an EP that's a social type three because I feel like they're contradictory in a sense, right? Because
yeah.
social type three is like this one thing, but then the EP side is like nope, many things. So it's there's like that
Mhm.
contradiction. So can you share a little bit about that inner conflict when those two contradictions kind of uh those two desires. One to
Yeah.
leave things open and gather, and one is to like to narrow things down and focus on the one thing.
Um, well, I guess back to our earlier examples of like traffic and stuff like that. Like I know that I'm gonna have to like plan ahead and stuff like that, and I know that I'm gonna get grumpy if I get stuck in traffic. So I'll I guess I've done this and I do this a lot still, but when I need to like figure out like the best route or something like that, I'll like explore the neighborhood or something like that, and then once I get like a good feel, like a mental map of the neighborhood and where I need to go, and like um, I'll have like several different routes I could take given the situation. Um, I will have to say that I definitely had to downsize on some of the things that I own recently because I just moved and I was like, wow, I have too much stuff, so I had to like throw some stuff away. So I guess that's the SE, um, and then I had another good example too. Well, I mean, like in my case, um, being an EP who's also like inclined to like narrow down on some things. I know I do have to narrow down. I know that's like it's something that like organizing is something that is calming to me, despite also like gravitating towards like gathering things. So it's kind of difficult to find the balance of like how much gather can I get away with, and that's usually the question like that. It doesn't consciously go through my head, but um, it's something that I seem to do or something I seem to ask myself. Um, yeah, it's like how much can I gather before I have to like narrow down again, stuff like it's like that weird ebb and flow.
Right. Yeah, because you're not a double observer, you're not an IP or EJ, so
No,
it's not something that's natural. It's something that is going to be a conscious effort if you want to get good at
yeah,
it. And you'll never really be as good as like the EJs and IPs at it because that's natural for them. It's kind of like with us as double deciders, we're naturally balanced with people, self and I.
Hmm.
So yeah, that is going to be the more balanced area than gathering and organizing, you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, the next part of this interview, I want to open the floor to you to
Okay.
any topic that you want us to discuss. I think I asked you all the questions already about all your parts. So if there's something that we didn't touch on, feel free to mention it. But is there anything that you want us to discuss or any questions that you have now that you have this floor open to you?
Um, I don't think we talked about the modality, have we?
We touched on the modality. So, you could
Okay.
talk about being double feminine, having a strong sense of smell. You kind of mentioned the visual side already, but the smell part
Yeah.
we talked about yet.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much I can add to that other than like, I have so like in my home right now, like I usually have, I guess something a good example I can give is like I keep like a lot of like air fresheners and stuff like that around. I like to like have the electronic ones you plug into the wall. It just makes me feel so calm and at home. Um, I'm not sure. I have watched like other videos of like people who are tester visuals, and I can relate to a lot of what they have said, like being particular about like the smell of food,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Um, yeah, I'm not sure that the tester modality is something that I was kind of vague in my understanding because my understanding right now is like it's like the gentler version of kinesthetic, um, but plus the like the taste and the smell focused and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. It does do a little bit of that, feeling the texture of things and feeling things out.
Yeah,
So for sure that I've seen the testers doing that for sure. Wanting to feel things, and just like
yeah. I definitely do like softer texture things, and that seems to be what I gravitate towards.
I do think though that the smell is still the
Okay.
predominantly strong one. I think from what I've seen with the tester people is like the smell, like smell brings memory, for example,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I have noticed that as well.
yeah, because I'm an audio, so I don't smell doesn't bring any memory to me, and I hate scents, so I hate like air fresheners, I hate that candles, I hate all that shit, right? I know it's like the tester people love it, and can't. I hate perfumes. I hate colognes. You know, like
So how does your modality manifest for you?
it's sound. So music brings back memory.
Yeah,
Sound. When I hear people talk, I can pick up on the words. I don't like having. This is something I noticed that testers people do is sometimes they like to have the TV or like Netflix or some show playing in the background. And to them, it's just background noise. And to me,
yeah,
acting, it's not background noise to me. I hear everything that the person's saying because
yeah,
of the
yeah,
audio modality. So it's annoying. But I'll talk to my sister who's like a tester, and she's like, "No, I don't really know what this person's saying in the song. I'm just like just being swept by the vibe, And I'm like, that's
yeah.
so weird. Like getting swept by the vibe. I can't even imagine what it's.
That's me. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's me.
I've never been swept once by the vibe. Never. Like. But being the audio person, if I'm teaching, because I teach fitness, right? So I'm teaching a spin class, for example. So I'll play music and I feel like I'll put the kinesthetic movement with the music. So if we're doing a spin class, for example, the song is going really fast, then I'm gonna make drill really fast too. We're gonna be moving faster, right?
Mhm.
So I will put the kinesthetic on top of the audio in that regard, you know. So the best way to describe it is we're the one that's, I guess, sweeping the people, and the people is gonna be like being swept by that sound and the movement. But we're not being swept by it ourselves. We're the one that's kind of
Okay.
creating that motion for
Yeah.
for other people. And I've noticed other audio people do this as well. So kind of makes sense why a lot of rappers are double masculines or audio, right? Because
Mhm.
it's like the words they have a rhyme to it, and then they're
Yeah.
moving you, right? It's a little bit aggressive too, right? Versus like someone that is a tester visual, the music that they make is a little bit different, right? Uh,
Mhm.
it's more like it's more soft, you could say, more slow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like there's no. I think I know what you're talking about. I can I guess understand like the difference between like tester music and like kinesthetic and audio music as well.
yeah.
And like there's like grain to the audio and the double masculine music. There's like some, I guess I can describe it as like punch, um, or like there's like more contrast to it, and in comparison to like double feminine music where there's everything's like it bleeds together kind of, and like
It's
there's
like
a wave to it.
it's like ambient. It's ambient.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Tester music is definitely more ambient, or yeah, something like that. But I also notice double masculine music and audio music is also different. Like double masculine, the way I see it is kind of like a mosh pit. Everyone's like going to mosh
yeah.
pit, like hitting each other and stuff.
I it's not my scene. Yeah,
Yeah, you probably get killed if you, if you go there.
I
But
would not make it.
no. Um, and well, I'm audio, so I wouldn't want to go there either because I'm like that's way too aggressive for me.
And the smells there too. I can just, oh man,
Oh, I didn't even
yeah,
think about that. Like, yeah, it probably smells nasty in
yeah.
in the mosh pit. So, but the double masculines love that stuff. I guess they don't smell anything because that test smell is their last, right?
Yeah, they just
So
rage on.
yeah, they just rage and hit each other. It's funny. We're making fun of double masculine people. Yeah. Yeah, that's also the interesting thing too. Like when I talk to double masculine people, is they see everyone as a threat.
Mm.
Well, like I guess for you, double feminine, you're like, no, everyone's friendly. The world's a friendly place.
Yeah, I mean, like I definitely had like some other moments or like something like comes out of the blue and catches me off guard. Like it was last year, and it like it because it was so like jarring that it stood out to me. I was in a car accident, um, and like this guy on a motorcycle was popping a wheelie, and I had taken a right turn. And I was in the left lane, furthest left lane, and he like came down on the back of me, and like um, I pulled over to like the left median, and turns out he had like a friend or something like that, and he like I was getting ready to get out the car to check on the motorcyclist because he had like fell and rolled over and stuff like that. I was like, oh shoot, I better go check on him. And I was getting ready to get out, and like his friend like pushed me against the car, and like he assaulted me. He punched me in my face, and I was like, Jesus, like it just like it caught me off guard and stuff like this. So like I definitely have had moments where like I feel like the tribe is like hyper aggressive and um, I guess like it's they're unpredictable or they're illogical, and they're just like crazy and just out of control and stuff like that.
You know what I noticed about double feminines is you guys are sensitive to people yelling.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like it
yeah,
almost like freaks you out, right? Kind of.
yeah. It's like especially like when I'm talking to someone and they're definitely not double feminine as well, and they're talking so loudly. I'm like, dude, I'm right in front of you. You don't have to talk that loud. Like
Yeah.
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. That's I find that so fascinating. It's fine to me. It doesn't bother me when people are yelling and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of unmoved, unfazed by it. But I did notice with the double feminines, it's like, oh, you guys are like triggered by this, you know? Like it's not,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like don't disturb the gentle vibe, please. Like
yeah, yeah.
leave it be.
Very fascinating for sure with the modality. So, um, all right, dude. I think I asked you all the questions that I have for the interview. Is there something that we haven't touched on that you would like for us to address, or we've touched everything and we're good to go?
Um, I mean, I do have, I guess it's not really a question, it's more like a curiosity.
Yeah.
So, like, when I originally, before I got into ops, I guess I went through the pipeline just like anyone else with like the MBTI
Hmm.
16 personality types.
Yeah.
That I actually got I got INFJ like a couple of times. That's what like threw me off um, when I was initially trying to find out my type. But I also did like some research into like Jungian psychology and stuff like that. And I know that ops uses a lot of that psychology. I don't usually see the like the four cognitive function slots like they have it in Jungian psychology, to where it's like you have the hero, the first function, the parent, and the child, and I guess the demon, fourth function. I know we mentioned the demon a lot
Yeah.
and like the saviors and stuff like that. Um, I was just curious, like, why isn't the parent and the child functions like mentioned a lot? And or is that true in this system
Are you talking about
as well?
personality hacker then?
Um,
Personality hacker uses that terminology that you're saying.
okay. I
Like,
don't remember where it came from. I just remember that bit
yeah,
of information.
yeah, personality hacker uses that. I think, what's it like? There's like is it, I don't know if it's parent or in a co-pilot, and then there's like the teenager, and then there's
Yeah.
the child. Yeah, I mean, I can see it in OPS. They just don't use those terminology because they don't follow the exact stack. Like, for example, like um, you have your first savior, that's the one that's over abuse, and then you have your second savior, which is more balanced, and then
Mhm.
the third one is the hobby function, like it's like a hobby,
Yeah.
or like it's a teenager in the personality hacker system, and then the fourth one would be like the child in the personality hacker system, while in OPS that's like your super demon, I guess, like the biggest demon, the fourth function demon, you could say.
Mhm.
um and all your problems is in that demon, like that's the one that you need to address essentially to make yourself more effective in life and get the desired result that you want for yourself in your life, because that everything is in there. It's in the fourth one. um like as an EP, for example, one of the biggest saying is discipline equals freedom, right? So if
Yeah.
whatever you want to get, you can. You just have to be disciplined. So you have to follow, and then you need to plan for you, for NI people. You guys need to plan, right? Because if you don't plan, someone's gonna make the plan for you, and you don't want that because you don't want people
Yeah.
to control you, right?
Yeah.
But then the big problem is like ESTPs and ESFPs fail to plan, and then they freak out why someone's controlling them. Well, they're controlling you because you didn't plan. That's your fault, right? You know.
Mhm.
So like you need to be responsible for your fourth function essentially in order for you to achieve the your maximum potential, right? I'm a ENFP, right? So I have SI at the bottom, which I share with the ENTPs, and for us, we need to have routine, right? Routine, and we need to deal with paperwork, which we hate, right? But if we deal with those, then
Yeah.
that is what's going to give us the biggest return on investment, you could say, right? So it's just a matter of using your demons. Obviously, you can't do it all the time because it's triggering. So for you, for example, your sleep touches your triggering function, which is your NI. So every time you're in your sleep mode, you're gonna get partially triggered. So it's kind of funny. And then for me,
Mhm.
I have blast as my second animal, but that uses my SI. So I'm in more of a triggered state than the typical ENFP as a result, because my blast uses SI, and I have it in a savior state, so I'm using it quite a bit. So it's that kind of interesting thing that a lot of people have. Like someone that has let's say an EP, your consume play, well, that's a more natural state because the play doesn't touch your NI, right?
Gotcha.
So you're not being triggered. You can do it all day. Like I have consume as a demon. I'm consume third, right? I'm play blast, consume sleep, but I can use consume all day because it doesn't touch my SI. So in
Mhm.
fact, even though it's a demon, I can use it all the time. It's like a weird irony to it, right? I'm a weird ENFP too, right? I'm not like traditional ENFP. Like I'm like NT first and then
Okay.
ST second because of the blast, and then NF third. Most ENFPs are NF first, right? So it's so definitely like, your type would be very different from other types depending on the flavor that you get in the order, right? So
Mhm.
you kind of come across more nerdy, for example, than the typical like, you know, ESTP that's like, doing all like the popular stuff that they're supposed to be doing, but
Yeah.
you'd be more attracted to the nerdy stuff, right? So like gaming, for example, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, which is fine. Essentially your animals dictate the direction that you're gonna go, So and there's
That makes sense.
pros and cons to them. So because you're high sleep and high NT, that means you're good at figuring things out, right? One of the things that a lot of ESTP struggle with is understanding something, but because you do have that NT sleep, you're gonna have a better opportunity to understand something versus the other ESTPs. So, but on the downside, you can't blast, so like
Yeah.
until you're older, so then even though you have all these great ideas, you can't execute on it. So it's annoying, right?
Yeah, and it's like even now with my YouTube channel, like I'm in this state of where like should I write a script or should I just come up with something off the cuff or and I've tried both and it's like when I try to like talk about a subject without planning for it, it's a disaster. I feel terrible and I
Yeah.
don't like it. So usually I have to like type up a script and like more or less follow it and I'm like somewhere in that between state of like doing and planning.
Yeah, I think that's good for sure. Or having an outline also helps, if you don't want
Yeah.
it to be like too robotic, because a script sometimes becomes too robotic, right? So yeah.
Yeah, and I've tried that too, and it's like then I run into that problem with like being blast last again, and like what was I supposed to talk about again, and
Oh,
stuff
I
like
see.
that.
You do need to have a script then.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I'm trying to like it's a very delicate matter, and I'm trying to figure out what's in between like a script and like an outline, and like I'll have like a script and like bullet points. I was like, oh, I need a little bit more, I need a little bit less, and stuff like that, just to get like the natural fluidity that I'm looking for.
I feel like you need to use play, like you need to have a partner for like a video or something, because then
Probably,
that's easier, I think, than if you were to blast. I think that's
yeah.
usually the best thing to do for blast people is to just have a partner, because then you can just use play to get your point across, because you can use play, you have a third, so it's not missing. So it's
Hmm.
like the easier pathway to choose. And then over time, as you're using play, you get better at the blast too by accident, because it's
Okay.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a good way to have baby steps towards the goal of
Yeah.
blast. Yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of people who can't blast, they just use play, and you can get away with a lot of things with play. So that's kind of like the best way to approach it, in my opinion. Yeah. All right, dude, let's wrap up the interview here. So thanks for coming out and sharing more about your life and how you perceive the world based on your personality type.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure, man. So we'll take care and see you around the community and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too. See you.